Peace, everyone. Welcome to another episode. I got tongue twisted there. Another episode of the Two British Nerds, hosted by myself, the DJ Sava. That's Cava. Hope everyone had a fantastic Thanksgiving. I was seeing all the Instagram pictures on my Instagram. People just totally going nuts with their food, their turkey, and so forth. So shout out to everyone out there in the US that stuff themselves with nothing but food, man. So let's get into it. But before we get into it, I'm very excited to say that actually I'm this close to actually doing my first video podcast. So hopefully within the next few weeks, I'll be getting my GoPro cam and I'll start doing my own video podcast. And what I'll do also, I'll also be taking the audio from the video and putting it onto iTunes, because you guys can subscribe onto my podcast by iTunes, Two British Nerds with a Z, and the YouTube page is Two British Nerds with a Z. So I'm going to do that. So just in case you people, especially people in the UK, don't have their internet allowance isn't that great sometimes. So you can tune in via audio, or you can visually see me via video. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm going to be redoing the YouTube page and also my Twitter page, which is at CAVA DJ. So I'm pretty excited. I'll be getting that grow GoPro cam very soon, and eventually within the next within the next 6 months, I'll be investing some money into a proper camera. So I'll be getting a Canon. So I'll be doing some proper videos, and also you'll be seeing some neat HD pictures on my Instagram page, which is again, follow me on the Instagram. It's basically my Instagram page is at Two British Nerds with a Z at the end, and you'll see me. Give me a follow. I'll follow you guys back. Yeah, man. So that's basically it. Just yesterday, I went to Forbidden Planet, and I'm just going random on. I'm going up, down, left, right. Hadouken. What can I say? I'm a Gemini. I'm not two-faced. I have a lot of things going on in my mind. Hence I'm so fast at talking sometimes. Well, actually, I am. So went to Forbidden Planet, Shaftesbury Avenue, Central London, and I went past the Funko bobbleheads. And I do collect them, but I don't collect basically all of them. I collect mainly the Marvel ones and the limited ones. Then again, I do collect a bit of the DC ones, I guess. Actually, I don't have any DCs. I'm not talking about. But I'm planning to get all the Jokers because I think they're so cool, and the Harley Quinns. I do love them. I'm actually just waiting for them to do a Constantine one because I do love Constantine, and so I'm waiting for that to come out, and I'll be definitely getting it. But yeah, I mostly collect just Marvel and the limited ones. So I had my eye on two of these ones I'm about to tell you about a few months back. And it was they're limited. So it's Carnage and Anti-Venom. So saw them, picked them up, got them. I'm happy to have in my collection. So now I've got I have Carnage, Anti-Venom, and I've got Carnage, Anti-Venom, and I have Venom as well. So I have all three of them, which is pretty cool. Funny saying that I don't actually have any Spider-Man ones, which is a bit crazy, since I am a Spider-Man fan. But I guess I wasn't a fan of the Amazing Spider-Man, which is why I didn't pick it up. But I am gonna go for the regular Spider-Man and the Iron Man one as well. If anybody has a Red Skull pop vinyl for sale, please let me know. I'll gladly buy it off you guys because it's so cool. And so yeah, I'm pretty happy I got them. If you guys are into collecting your Funko bobbleheads, I know sometimes it's a bit crazy in the States where you can't get them, but if you want to pay a bit more for shipping, if you go to the forbiddenplanet.com, which is Forbidden Planet in the UK, which is where I am in London. You can pre-order them. Also, what else we have with more pop vinyl? Yeah, I said this last time, but I just want to bring it out just to say it again. If you're a fan of the Daredevil Netflix show, they are doing. They have actually done pop vinyls for Daredevil, but they haven't been released. I believe they are released from next year, between January to March. They should be out. So they've done the Daredevil in the suit from the TV show as well. The Black Daredevil in the black suit. Matt Murdock with his cane and the glasses. And they've done Wilson Fisk. They haven't done Froggy. I'm pretty disappointed they didn't do Froggy and Claire, because I really want Claire. I love Claire. She's hot, And I like her as a character. But yeah, I'm actually looking to buy the Daredevil on DVD. As if it ever comes out on Netflix. I don't think it will, but I really wanna get it. So yeah, that's pretty much some Funko Pop news. Also, if you guys are into your Hot Toys, next year May they will be releasing the Hulkbuster from the Age of Ultron. It's about 39 centimeters. It is totally massive. It has about let me see. It has one, two, three. I believe it has 4 arc reactors. So I believe it has 2 on the knees. 2 on the knees. 1 on the chest, and I believe it has 3 arc reactors in the back, I believe, or 1. But it's so huge, right? You can actually put your whole hand around the leg. It's amazing. So, I'm stacking up my money for that. So I'm definitely getting that, because it's the thing is I've never bought a Hot Toys figurine in my life, right? But from seeing that, when I saw it, I was like, I'm buying it. I've never purchased any Hot Toys figurines, not Iron Man figurines, nothing. But this will be my first Hot Toy figurine, and the next two I'll be getting will be when Civil War comes out. So I will be getting, and I know they're gonna do it. I'll be getting Spider-Man, because it'll be the first time Spider-Man will be in a Marvel movie, so that'll be a collector's item, and the first Black Panther, appearance. I'll be getting that as well, and I'll be getting also Doctor Strange when that comes out as well. That'll be Marvel's first figurine, Doctor Strange's first movie. Yeah, so hopefully we'll see Blade in a cameo from Wesley Snipes if they put him in there, or if they give him Blade. Hopefully. But yeah, what can I say? It's gonna be an expensive year, but I've said to myself, I only get the bits that are worth getting. So I cut back on a lot, guys. I'll cut back on about 6 comic books, even more, because I love Marvel, but I can't stand the renumbering. And some of the storylines they're coming up with, I'm not really getting with it. So I kind of, stopped collecting about 6 Marvel books. I mean, I'm still collecting Marvel, Image, no DC, because I'm not really feeling the DC stuff. But yeah, what can I say? It's about saving money, guys. Saving that money. Okay, so let's just get into a bit of news. So Tom Amandas joins Arrow as DC villain. The calculator, so he should be coming into Arrow pretty soon. Again, I just wanted to say I've never actually watched Arrow apart from the Constantine time, which was really pretty cool. So I might just give Arrow a go and just watch the shows, all the seasons back to back. Why not? Seems like a good thing to do, Also, moving on, there's a rumor that there'll be a Supergirl Flash crossover. That'll be pretty cool. Be funny to see who'll be the fastest. We all know the Flash is faster than Superman, but is he faster than Supergirl? It actually will be cool just because they're very, very light-hearted characters. They're very fun. They're very humorous. They're very gentle and very cool. So it'll be a pretty cool crossover, and it'll be pretty cool to see if these two actually have a romantic attraction to each other, because I can see that the resemblance. They're both on that same. They both have powers. They're both funny in their own way. And they're both very light-hearted and kind. So I'd love to see how their personalities actually get along. But I think it's a pretty cool idea. I just want to see how, if it does happen, how they will basically put this crossover in. Other rumor is, and people are still talking about it. This only came out a few days ago, and people still talking about it. There's been people posting about it as well. Rumor that Constantine joins the Legends of Tomorrow. Apparently, they'll say now season 2. There's a rumor that season 2. Look, it's quite simple, right? You need to have Constantine in his own show, regardless, right? But it makes a lot of sense for him to be in, in Legends of Tomorrow, because one, he deals with magic, so he'd probably be like the only guy that's really clued up about how to use and deal with magic. So yeah, any show that Constantine rumors to be on should be on, because he deserves a show, man. Give him his own show. I'm still frustrated and angry at the fact they actually cancelled his show. I know I spoke about it last time, but come on, man. The show was amazing. Why would you scrap it, man? Seriously, man. DC guys, man. Give the guy his own show back. But yeah, Constantine joins Legends of Tomorrow. Amazing. If it's true, yeah, I'll watch the show. It's because of Constantine. And leave him alone. No cameos, none of that crap. Give him his own show, or let him be in every episode in Legends of Tomorrow. It has to be, I guess, because if he's in there, it'd be a team. A team story, a team book. What's in a team book? It'll be a team up thing. It'll be a team up TV show. So it'll be pretty cool, really, really cool. Maybe to some more news. Zoe Saldana begins her Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 makeover as Gamora. So the movie is due to release 2017. So they are preparing, I guess, to start going into their mode. So she's going into getting that green paint all over. I love her, man. She's so cool. She's so beautiful as well. She's got such a baby face. I loved her in Star Trek Into the Darkness. And I can't wait to see her in the next Star Trek movie, and I can't wait to see her in Guardians of the Galaxy, because she's such a with Gamora. She's very, very warm-hearted, very, very generous, very cool, very soft, but she's very deadly at the same time. So she has that balance about her, which is pretty cool. And also the green, obviously, the green symbolizes, it symbolizes the love, the heart, Mother Nature, and kindness, but it also represents, the military represents green with envy. So it's like that Hulk rage in a way. So it's pretty cool as a character. I just like her. I think she's amazing, and her skills are they're just so cool. I love to see her team up with someone like Black Widow. It'd be a pretty cool team up. You never know. But yeah, she's getting ready to do her own makeover. So more news will come out soon regarding Guardians, I guess. I'll be bringing that news to you guys, and I can't wait to get my camera. Oh, believe me, I can't wait. You guys have finally seen me. Yeah, easy. Some more movie news. This news actually shocked me. So it was a rumor, but now apparently it's coming to be true that Tom Cruise is in talks of doing the Mummy reboot. I mean, look, man, seriously, he doesn't. It won't. It's gonna be awful. Him being in the Mummy, like the movie's been done already. Why leave it alone? Leave the movie alone. It does not need a reboot. At least reboot of a black character. That also makes sense. Black character in Egypt, because Egypt was a black land. Blah 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 blah. At least do that. Don't give us another. What's happened, just recently when I believe the director or producer of Gods of Egypt came out and said sorry for not having diversity in Gods of Egypt, because obviously all the characters are white and Egypt was a black civilization. Black people founded the pyramids. So it sparked a lot of. It has what it is now. It's sparking a lot of craziness. So the Mummy reboot, If you're gonna do it efficiently. Get some diversity in there as well. But really and truly, my personal opinion is, don't do a reboot of The Mummy. Leave it alone. I'm not Tom Cruise. Seriously, man. Leave it. Leave it alone. But apparently, from what I can see, it is gonna happen. I know. I can sense it's gonna happen. Oh well. Next, Men in Black 4 is supposed to have another female cast. It's supposed to have a female lead role or female cast. Right. It was bad enough. They've done Ghostbusters now with all female cast, right? And it's now they said they're going to do Van Helsing. They're going to reboot that with all women's cast, and now they're going to reboot Men in Black 4 with an all female cast. And apparently there's no Will Smith. Is there I doubt there's going to be a Tommy Lee Jones in it. So really, I mean, what's the point? You guys are just rebooting these movies. Rebooting them, and then you're just pushing all these. You're rebooting them, but then you're making them basically all female casts. Really, I mean, it's like the feminists are taking over now. At least have it diverse. Have a male cast and a female cast, or Ghostbusters. You could at least have said, we're gonna do male casts and female casts. But really, Men in Black 4, female cast, female lead role. I'm not watching it. I'm not watching Ghostbusters. And I'm not watching The Mummy Returns. No way. Unless I see, in The Mummy, unless I see a bit of something different, a bit of diversity probably, but Men in Black 4, not watching it. Gods of Egypt, boycotting that movie. I'm not watching it. Men in Black 4, when it comes out, I am not watching it. So, yeah. Right, so what do we have next? Here we go. So, Dawn of Justice trailer, which is basically Batman vs Superman, Dawn of Justice trailer there will be airing a sneak preview of I think it's a snippet or a trailer at the end of the next episode of Gotham. And the only reason, my personal opinion, they're airing this trailer now is because Marvel totally destroyed it with that Civil War trailer, which I'll be going into literally after this. Look, DC, man, seriously, take your time with the movies. Relax. Don't rush. It's like with Man of Steel 2, it's like they're cramping too many people, too many things and at the same time. The thing is with the Batman vs Superman trailer, right? When it came out initially, they showed too much in the movie, and it was just all over the place, and like there wasn't really any structure to the scenes. It was dark. There wasn't really. I mean dark. I'm not talking about the tone of the movie, because obviously I know that DC do dark movies, but everything was all black. You couldn't really see anything. It was really dark toned. One thing that DC did, like I said, they showed too much action, too much fighting. They gave too much to the audience, which they shouldn't have done. They should have just kept it nice and smooth, made it basically so people get excited and get teased, and then bring something else, like, in due course when the movie is about to come out. Just like what Marvel did. Marvel did not. There was like a teaser to Civil War, right? And that was, I think, when was it? It was a while ago, and it was I know it was Kevin Feige that introduced the trailer, the snippet, and that snippet was about a minute long, and I just remember seeing Crossbones coming out of a plane, and Captain America is there. So it kind of makes you, get excited and stuff. So DC should have done that. So hopefully the next trailer we'll see something new, something different, and we'll see where they take it literally from there. But the thing is, I'm not a Superman fan. Batman, I'm not a Batman fan, but I do like the way he thinks. I find Superman as a boring character. I prefer Clark Kent, and people saying what? They're the same people. Yeah. Kind of, because if you ever watched the old Superman TV show, and I love that Superman Returns with Terry Hatcher and Dean Cain. I remember a scene of where they travel back in time, and Lois finds out that he's Superman, and she was like, "You lied to me," and he was like, "Well," he goes, "How do you?" And Clark was like, "How do you expect me to feel?" He goes, "I'm there with you, and you're all, in love with Superman." And she was like, "That's ridiculous." She goes, "You are Superman." He goes, "No. Clark Kent is who I am. Superman is what I do." So in a sense, I like it when he's Clark Kent because it's pretty much who he is, in a way. And he's got more personality. He's funny. He cracks joke. He makes it. He has a sense of humor. He's cool. But then when he's Superman, it's just like he just flies, and he doesn't have a lot of villains. He doesn't really do anything. He hardly speaks. His character is, believe me, it's a boring character. They need to do like a World War Hulk with Superman and test him. Something that would just be crazy and nuts. Do that like War of the Gods or something. War of the Kryptonians. Make it a juicy storyline for him. Let him get battered, to the verge of death. Let him fight. That's when you can see blood and darkness and so forth, because we're taking Superman to the next round, a peak in his life, I guess. But yeah, I will be watching that movie because I'll be watching all the superhero movies. Only superhero movie I haven't watched is Fantastic Four, and I'm not going to watch it. So, boy, my friend watched it the other day. He was like, it was rubbish. I was like, "Ooh, was that bad?" He goes, "Yeah, it was bad. Really, really bad." Right, so next up we have, of course, the Civil War trailer. That Civil War trailer, right, got me so excited, and I was like, whoa, man. I was like, seriously, whoa. It was probably, out of all the Marvel trailers they've pushed out in their lifetime, the most emotional trailer there was. I mean, you have two friends who are going against each other because of a friend, in one aspect. Now, obviously, we don't know what the full problem was between these two characters, because that trailer that came out was actually a teaser trailer. So I'm assuming when the movie is about to get launched, or when it hits January, February, you'll be hearing and seeing more of Marvel Civil War trailers, synopsis and so forth. But as a trailer, it was intense, it was emotional, the action was pretty cool. But what I liked about it also, they didn't show too much. For example, they showed no Spider-Man, which everyone was wanting to see. There was no Vision. We all know the Vision is basically in the movie. There was no Ant-Man, and there was no Wasp. So it was a pretty cool. It was a pretty cool trailer because it kind of kept you guessing. It was very emotional. Like I said, very intense, and it was good. It was a very, very good. Of course, sorry, what can I forget? Also, they showed you the Black Panther himself as well, that chiller. It was amazing. Best moments for me in the trailer. Okay, let me see. Best moments in the trailer for me was probably one of the scenes of where the Black Panther just smacks Bucky in his mouth with a kick to the head, or the scene of where he's running after Bucky. Right, he's running after Bucky, and Cap's trying to chase him, and then in my head I'm like, nah, you're not gonna catch him. So, like, if you know the Black Panther, right, he has enhanced agility, he's got strength, he's really, really fast, right, and he's got resistance to magic, and he knows martial arts. See, when you see now, I don't know if you guys have seen some of the images they've shown, for example, Team Cap, Team Iron Man, and they show you that the Black Panther is with Iron Man's team. No. See, you guys have to understand, right? The Black Panther's allegiance and loyalty is to his people. So he's, regardless of, because even Kevin Feige said this when they interviewed him, he said that the Black Panther will be neutral. So even though he's with so-called Team Cap, that's not what his agenda is. His agenda is for something else that Marvel obviously haven't introduced and told us yet. But he is out for his own people. So when we see the movie now, we're gonna find out why he's really there. Because why is he there? Why has he left Wakanda? Why is he there? And why is he chasing? The scene you see him chasing Bucky, not Captain America. Even though they were I guess there's a scene where they're fighting, and Cap's chasing him, but he's not chasing Cap. He's chasing Bucky. So what's with him and Bucky? And just to let you guys know, in the comic books, he totally destroyed Captain America. He beat him up. Yes, he did. There's a scene of where Cap's trying to hit him with his shield, and he catches him off balance, and he uses the shield against him, because remember, guys, the vibranium came out of where? Wakanda, which is where obviously the Black Panther resides. So vibranium, he knows vibranium inside out. Plus, out of Mr. Fantastic, Xavier, Bruce Banner, and Tony Stark, he's actually the smartest one out of all of them. So he's the man. So one thing that I really need to see in the movie is to see how tall he really is, because he's supposed to be at least like maybe 6'5". He's actually very, very tall and muscular. But obviously, it's because Cap's movie, you will never see him overshadowing Captain America, so they'll probably not do that. But yeah, that's the Black Panther. Remember, his allegiance is only to his people. So if you guys can get this, because I'm trying to get it myself, right? Because I really want to read it, even though I could probably get it on digital. The Black Panther Masterworks Volume 1 is very expensive due to the fact that, one, the Black Panther's comic didn't really last that long, so it already went on up for one. The first volume went on for a bit, and it got cancelled, I guess. And they brought out more volumes years to come, but it wasn't really ongoing. It was like a short burst of comics here, stop, comics. Like do a comic book series, stop, cancel, and then bring something out. So it wasn't really a consistent thing. But that's the original one. So if you get the Black Panther Masterworks Volume 1, you actually see the origins and what the Black Panther is and what he stands for. In the UK, it's going for on eBay, it's like £100, which is like maybe like in dollars, maybe like $150. So I will be getting it because I do like Black Panther. I just don't want to buy anything really on digital and stuff. But if I can't afford it or get it, I just want to sacrifice that and do that. We also see the scene of where Rhodey is knocked down. Is he dead? Is there too much black people in the movie? Because I was like, come on, the black guy always gets it first in the movies. You got in the movie now. You got Rhodey, War Machine, and you got obviously you got the oh my god, the Falcon. That's it. And you have the Black Panther. So the black guy always gets it first, but I don't want him to die because he's actually a cool character, man. He's smart, smooth, he's cool, man. I like him. He's a pretty cool character. But then again, he could be knocked out. We never know, because he might still be needed for Infinity War when that comes out in 2018. So be ready for that. So hopefully he's not dead. What else did I like in the movie? Oh, the scene of where Bucky and Cap were just beating on Iron Man. That was very, very emotional. But from what I can see, Bucky was trying to go full power, but I don't think Cap was going full blast at him. So we'll see what happens. And why is Iron Man on his own? Where were they? And then there's that scene of where Bucky trying to rip out his arc reactor out of his chest. And I know for a fact when Cap sees him doing that, he's gonna be like, "What are you doing?" Nah, because obviously, at the end of the day, right? The only reason he's doing this is because it's Bucky's friend. But then there's that scene where he goes, there's a scene of where Cap goes, "Oh, sorry, Tony, I wouldn't be doing this if he wasn't my friend." And he was like, but he's my friend. No, so he goes, because he's my friend. And Tony's like, so was I. And I was like, ooh, it is very emotional. This is my theory of why maybe this the civil war between Iron Man and Cap has gone so intense. It's because if you remember in the Winter Soldier, when Cap is with the Black Widow and with Zola, right? And he shows you all the people that were killed off by Bucky, right? Winter Soldier, and one of them was Howard Stark, which is Tony Stark's dad. So maybe in the movie now, Tony finds out, or Cap or Bucky tell him, and he goes AWOL trying to kill him, and then Iron Man, then Cap trying to obviously stop it. It's going to be a very, very intense, emotional movie. What's going to be really nuts, what's going to be really cool as well is when they come together at the end, because obviously they come together and they properly destroy him and mash up Crossbones and his team. And I really want to see how this movie sets the tone for Infinity War. Are we going to have a new Avengers team from here or not? But I'm assuming all these guys are signed up for. No, actually. I remember the article that came out ages ago that Chris Evans is going to be filming Infinity Wars. So with that, people saying that Captain America was going to die in Civil War and Bucky take the mantle, that's out of the question unless he gives up or he dies in Infinity War, most probably. But we all know Marvel always find a way to bring him back. What else in the trailer? I'm trying to remember anything else. I'm trying to remember, guys. Yeah, it was just very emotional, man. Like, very emotional. The bit where Tony's holding Rhodey, Tony's mysterious black eye, which I think it's probably Cap. I reckon maybe it's Cap that smacks him in his eye because it gets a bit heated. It's going to be a very emotional. It's going to be a very emotional movie, but I'm looking forward to that. I'm probably going to watch it in the IMAX, I can't wait to watch that, man. I cannot wait. If I'm working that day and I can't get the day off, I'll be calling in sick. Nothing is going to stop me from watching that movie. Yes, I'm a hardcore, mate. Hardcore Marvel fan. I love it. I love movies. I love the comics. And I love the old comics as well, so it's amazing. What else? Do we have to talk about? Oh, yes. Jessica Jones, right? Jessica Jones, man. Jessica Jones, for me, it is the darkest, so far, the darkest thing that Marvel will have pretty much produced. It is very emotional. It is very emotional, very twisted, very intense. Kilgrave, he's just, for me, he's amazing. He's amazing at what he did and what he does. I like the fact how they introduced Luke Cage and how he gets more of a role in the show, which is pretty cool. So it kind of introduced you to what Luke Cage can do, what his persona is like, and who and what he is. A lot of Easter eggs involved. What I liked about it wasn't to do with action. It was, for me, it was the storyline and the way the story was. It was very, very dark to the point you could actually feel it. It was emotional. It was emotional. It was intense. There was more story, and more story and more feeling than action. It was pretty cool. and you're gonna see some very very, I guess, sorry, pardon me, I meant to say, it's very gory and it's very bloody. I was like, whoa. I thought Daredevil was dark, right? I thought Daredevil was dark, but from watching this, I was like, whoa, man, seriously? It is very, very dark. So if you haven't seen Jessica Jones, just watch it and let me know what you guys think. You can always hit me up on Instagram at 2BritishNerds with a Z, or you can hit me up on the email 2BritishNerds@gmail.com and let me know what you guys think. But it was very, very very emotional, very intense, very bloody. It was, whoa, man. It was crazy. Like, and I'm now looking forward to watching to Iron Fist. Sorry, the next one, Luke Cage and Iron Fist, and of course the Defenders, where it's Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist, literally all in one show. So that'd be a pretty cool team. I remember the original Defenders was, if I can remember this right, Namor, the Hulk, Doctor Strange, and the Silver Surfer. That seriously was that is what you call a powerhouse team, man. A powerhouse team. So that was the old Defenders, and you can actually, if you can find it, you can get that. You can get volumes. You can get Volume 1 and so forth. Marvel's Masterworks, but Volume 1 does actually cost quite a lot of money. But it's a powerhouse team. But yeah, that's the Defenders. I'm really looking forward to Iron Fist. If you guys want to know who Iron Fist is and Luke Cage, talking about Luke Cage, you can actually buy a Luke Cage Masterworks Volume 1, which there was only one Masterworks done, so that's available right now to buy from ForbiddenPlanet.com or Amazon. Iron Fist, you can pick up Volume 1, that came out recently. Volume 1 is out. Volume 2 you can get, but it is actually very rare to find. I saw it at Forbidden Planet for £55, which is like about maybe $70 and so forth. But you can get it cheaper on Amazon and on eBay. Jessica Jones, you can actually get Volume 1 to 3, I believe, which is available right now. I know Volume 1 is available. Volume 2, Volume 3 or 4, I think it's still on pre-order, but you can double check on Forbidden Planet because it's there, and you can order them and pre-order them on Amazon. Or if you want to get the omnibus, which is 722 pages, I believe it retails on Amazon for about £65. It's the whole run by Michael Bendis. It's very dark, very gruesome, but it is very, very cool. I'm going to be investing in that soon because I really want to have that in my collection. That's it. Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and literally, Iron Fist. So you can get all the Volume 1s on Amazon. Sorry, if you can get them on Forbidden Planet. So if you can't, look, my bad. You can go to Forbidden Planet. I keep stuttering. You can go to Forbidden Planet. If you can't find some of them, you definitely get them on Amazon or on eBay. But get them now before the shows come out because they start valuing in price. Just like Civil War did, before, issue 1 to 7 was like what, $2-3 each or less. Now they're going for in the UK or on eBay.com 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 pounds because of the movie. So I'm pretty happy I got my Doctor Strange Volume 1 to read. So yeah, man, gotta get these things, guys. You have to get them. But yeah, man, I really recommend you guys to watch Jessica Jones. If you're a DC fan and you like dark stuff, it'll be for you. It's darker than Arrow. It's darker than Gotham. It's pretty cool. I'm actually waiting for DC. The show that I'm waiting to watch when it comes out will be Lucifer. Boy, I watched the leaked episode 1. Yeah, it was good. So I'm waiting for it to come out again. Oh, another show you guys need to watch, right? walk into the Badlands. Into the Badlands. I'm not going to speak about it apart from saying it's deep, it's intense, it's bloody, it's gory, and and it has martial arts in there. If you're a Game of Thrones fan and you like how Game of Thrones is and the story behind it, imagine Into the Badlands is like touch and go. It's like Game of Thrones, but it is, guys, I'll be honest with you, it's good, it's sick, I love it. Watch it, let me know what you guys think. Right, so see my phone's popping off all these Instagram notifications, man. Right. So let's do some reviews, guys. So comment reviews. So Spider, this the first one is Spider-Woman issue 1 now. This actually came out last week, but I got it. So it came out last week, but because of something happened in the UK, there was a delay. It came out this week, so I got it. So Spider-Woman issue 1, written by Dennis Hopeless, and you have the artist Javier Rodriguez on this, which is Javier Rodriguez on the artwork. I literally only got this book just to the fact is, obviously, if you guys know, it's been very made blatant by Marvel that Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, is pregnant. I just want to know who the father is. So it feels like this is going to be like a soap opera. Who is the father? Is it a guy? Is it a girl? Was she impregnated? What happened to her after Secret Wars? Because it's literally after Secret Wars. So let's want to see who the father is. Initially when I was reading this book, because what came to mind was she's a superhero, but she's pregnant. Is she really going to be going into battle, into combat with a baby? And she gets punched in the stomach or something. I was like, ugh. So initially, what this book is about, from beginning to end, just to make it short and sweet, is she's pregnant. She has somebody else that's doing the work for her, and she's overseeing and giving the person advice as she's kind of schooling this person in what to do and how to combat and stuff. So she's taking the back seat, pretty much, I guess, being a mum, and just chilling out, relaxing, obviously, in what's happening with her partner, while she goes through the stages of motherhood and maternity. She's not really keen on basically being a mother, but and she starts to see, okay, it's pretty cool. Overall, it's actually a good comic. It's very, very mellowed down. Not a lot of action, but more of, I guess, how can I say, more feeling of how how motherhood feels like. So you can imagine the first time a superhero is pretty much pregnant. So it's like a different take on the situation. How does a female superhero act? When she's pregnant, or she's got all these powers, but she can't save anyone because why? Because she's pregnant. So what's she gonna do? How is she gonna do things then when she comes into trouble? If there's nobody around, what's gonna happen? What's she gonna do and say? She can't really do what she could do before because she's carrying this child in her stomach. Sorry, no, child in her womb. But overall, as a book, with Jessica Drew, she's funny, she's caring, she's very she has a lot of sarcasm. Hence why I guess Hawkeye likes her so much, and why she kind of likes Hawkeye. It's a very, very different read, a very different comic book. What's also cool about it has a twist as well. A twist that will make you get a second issue. believe me, you'll definitely get the second issue. You get me? It's really good. It's something new also. So what it is, if you're a new reader to Jessica Drew, so Spider-Woman, you can easily get into the character as well. Again, all the number ones that Marvel put out is after we all know, like the Ultimate Universe and the 616 main universe, the Marvel Universe were totally destroyed. So a new universe is slowly forming. So it gives everybody the opportunity to jump on and start on reading comic books, just like DC did with the New 52. But yeah, it was a nice read. I do like her as a character, but I'm not really liking the whole pregnancy thing. I guess I don't know. But I'm gonna get something new. I just want to find out who the father is. Could be Hawkeye. Could be Spider-Man. Could be Tony Stark. Could be anybody. Could be Howard the Duck. Could be Thor from Elful. Who knows? Could be Ultimate Spider-Man. So that's why I kind of like the book as well, because it kind of gives you the suspense on who the father is. But yeah, the whole book is basically just her doing her thing, chilling, relaxing, eating ice cream. You see her in some action scenes, but she's not the one that's doing the action. So it's pretty cool. And I guess a lot of women will resonate to this, because obviously if you're a woman, you're having a baby, women are more, will be more into this book because they can relate to it. So I guess one good thing is it it attracts a lot of a lot of females into it. There's a very funny scene where I like the scene of where Iron Man goes up to Miss Marvel. Iron Man was like, to Miss Marvel, to Captain Marvel, who's the father? And she's like, go and ask her. So he goes to ask her, and then Spider-Man's spider sense goes off, and he's like, Tony, no man, don't do it, Tony. And I ask her, and she just throws food over his head, which is totally hilarious, So it has the humor, because Jessica Drew is a funny character, so it has the humor, and it's very cool. So yeah, get this, guys, get it, and let me know what you guys think. Next up is not a number one, but it's a book that I've been waiting for the last few months, and this is Saga issue 31, written by Fiona Staples and Brian K. Vaughan, who's currently also writing Paper Girls, which, if you haven't read, I do recommend for you guys to get. It's a pretty cool book. So we basically, in this book, this issue, as we know in the last issue, Hazel was kidnapped with her grandmother. They were captured. And this issue basically starts off, I guess, with the life of Hazel. She's funny, man. She's a funny character. So it kind of takes you what Hazel's gone through, how she's been, what she's been accustomed to. She can pretty much she can speak, which is pretty which is pretty cool. I love how they've taken a different so I was flicking through the book. What they've basically taken, the take on Hazel, what she's like, you kind of now get to see more of this character's personality and what she's like, what she's been holding back, and how she's been feeling since she's been separated from Alina and Marco, which is her parents. Again, it is very, as if you read Saga, this issue is kind of, it's gruesome, it's funny, it's bloody as well. It is bloody. One good thing about this, we kind of also reveal how old Hazel is now, which is pretty cool. So you kind of know, you kind of get to know more about Hazel. You know, they throw little snippets, little Easter eggs to let you know what Hazel is really about, how she was feeling and how she was feeling when she got separated from her parents, and what she's pretty much doing now. Overall, man, it's a very, very fantastic read as usual. If you haven't read Saga, I do recommend you to read it. If you guys can't get the first 30 issues because they are expensive, because it's become a very, 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 very popular book, I believe issue 1 maybe going for maybe like $100 or more. You know, luckily I got mine for like £7, which is about $13, I guess. You know, I got it like maybe 2 weeks after the book came out. It was very, very popular. You can get the deluxe Saga, the deluxe volume 1. So it's a big blue book, and it has the first 21 issues of Saga, and with artwork that wasn't seen in the comic books. So you can get that, and then you can get maybe after that the small graphs that come out, or you can buy the next 7 issues individually, because they are still available to get. But it's like the first issues are very, very hard to get because it's like, you know, the origin and stuff. But it's a very from issue 1 to now, it's a big ride. And now this arc is amazing because we get to see more of what Hazel is like, which is pretty amazing. The dialogue is pretty cool between Hazel and her grandma and the teacher as well, which is pretty cool. It's bloody, it's gruesome, it's hilarious. There's suspense in it. Every issue of Saga I've loved, and I can't wait for the next. I can't wait for the next issue, because that's pretty much when things kick off. It does end with a twist that can make you think, okay then. Saga tends to do that once in a while, where it has very, very sick, twisted, twisted imagery and endings. So again, there's one scene in this book that will make you think, what the... It's a very twisted scene, and you'd have to literally... I'm never going to say it. You're gonna have to read it for yourself, guys. But yeah, Saga is amazing. You know, Hazel, for the age that they say she's in this book, she looks pretty tallish. But yeah, she's all grown up. The horns are there and stuff, and she's very distorted in this book. She's very distorted. She doesn't know what's happening. All she wants is to see her parents, I guess, like any child wants to. So hopefully the next issue we'll get to see what's happening with Marco and Alina and the robot himself. But yeah, it's pretty cool. You know, you get to see also what Hazel's been learning in the so-called prison of the school that she's been basically put into. So you kind of see how she's been learning. Her vocabulary is basically improved, so you can speak well, but she's still a kid. But it's cool, man. Seriously, like Saga. I mean, out of all the comic books I have, I would never drop this book, never. And I can't wait for it to hit like 50th issue, 100th issue. I can't wait because it's such an amazing read, man. So that's Saga, guys. Saga. Right. Next up, we have Sorry, I had to beatbox that. We have one of my favorite Spider books, and that is Silk, written by Robbie Thompson. Artist, I love the artist, and I love her. She's so cool. Stacey Lee. This is Silk issue 1, and I had to get myself the literally the hip hop variant. The hip hop variant to this, which is pretty Pretty slick. I love it. So we find out basically Silk, as usual, dealing with her life than anything else. It's been a very emotional ride for Silk, even from the last few from the previous issue when it first came out till now. So I guess this is like volume 2, issue 1, because this is again after Secret Wars. Again, she's dealing with her life and anything else. She works under under Jameson, which is hilarious. In the last issue before the last issue, she found her brother, and she's that's the only family she has now, because her parents mysteriously they were kidnapped or they disappeared. So she's trying to trace her family. Her brother isn't doing very well. He can't remember anything that happened. So she's trying to struggle to, I guess, get the information so she can move things forward with him. But then she still loves her brother. She wants to keep him safe and well. We move along. We see her basically. She has actually gone bad. She's turned bad in this book, or has she? I'll let you guys decide when you read it. We have also cameos from a certain Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Character, which she basically fights, which makes it very, 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 very intense between these two characters. It's hilarious. It's funny. It's very emotional. I think that's one of the key things I realized when reading all these issues to do with Silk. She since she was locked up in that bunker to now, she's like an emotional wreck. She hasn't got anybody. She's not seeing anybody. She hasn't got any friends. The only family member that she actually has, her brother. She's found. He was brainwashed into working for the Goblin Nation, so he doesn't remember anything. So it's very, very intense. It's like for her as a character. Just putting a superhero thing to one side, her general life is all messed up. So I guess in this issue you start to see her slowly get things back. In perspective, regarding her life. So it's pretty amazing in a way that she's come from all of this chaos and she's still grasping to basically put things into structure, which she is actually doing day by day, which is totally amazing. But in this book, as usual, there's a lot of action, comedy, humor, and you get to actually see who her so-called villain of a boss that she's working for, or is she really working for? We never know. We never know, but it's pretty cool, pretty amazing. I love Jameson. I like to see Jameson in the comic books. He's hilarious. He's funny. The thing with him, he does care, but he never shows it, or does he? He's a very, very funny guy, Jameson. But I love Silk. She's potent. She's cool. She's new, and I just like her as a character, man. She's amazing. She's totally amazing. So yeah, Stacey Lee does an amazing job in doing artwork and so, and Robbie Thompson, amazing in writing her. She's a new character, but she's pretty cool. I love the scenes that we see her fighting some of the goblin's henchmen, and the way she smacks them around, beats them up, fights them. Comedy. She's very humorous in her own way when she fights. Her punchlines are very funny as well, which is I totally like. And I like her suit. Her new suit is just pretty cool. But as for number 1, to start things off, it's pretty cool. I'd love to see how things actually escalate and move for this character, because there's a lot of things that need to be dealt with, which haven't been dealt with yet, which is pretty amazing. So she's a very, very hidden character. There's a lot of things that they're going to explore with her, as a right in future issues. So that's Silk issue 1, which is pretty amazing. I love it. I think, Out of all the books that I'm actually collecting, I've dropped Spider-Man. I've dropped Spider-Gwen. You know what? The way Peter Parker is going on now, I mean, he's been written. I do like Dan Slopper's alright, but the way he's written him, you know, like having his own Park Industries, like he's like pretty much like a Tony Stark. Yeah, I'm not really feeling that. I want Peter Parker to be swinging around, you know, doing his thing. You know, I want him to be in school like he was back in the day, you know, and stuff. So for me, it's not really something that I'm really into. So I've kind of dropped that. Spider-Gwen, just not really feeling it. I dropped that as well. Yeah, I mean, I think I'll give Ultimate Spider-Man a go when that comes out to see how that's like. Also, there's a new book called Spidey, which is coming out, and it's focused on basically his early years when he was in school. So yeah, that's me. I'll be definitely picking that up. Pretty amazing. Right, guys, the next book I have is literally Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. So what I like about this book, the reason I got it, because it has a young black girl, which is pretty cool. As I said previously, Marvel being very diverse because of the stuff they got themselves into a while ago. So you find a lot of black characters now in the Marvel universe, backstory characters, main characters, and more of diversity from other cultures as well, which is pretty cool. So Devil Dinosaur, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur is pretty much, in a sense, as you probably read from the book, you probably think it's a girl and a dinosaur. Yep, it is, but the way it gets to the girl and the dinosaur is pretty cool, pretty dope, awesome, just because of the fact of how this young girl actually finds so-called this dinosaur. What I like about this girl who is now called Lunila, who lives in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. She's a young black girl, but she's very smart to the point of where nobody in her school can test her, no teacher. So she feels very bored because of the fact that she knows pretty much everything. There isn't anything that anyone's teaching her, you know, that can make her think, that can test her. But also she's a geek in the way she loves to make things. She's an engineer, which is amazing, and you kind of see that in the first few pages when you actually read the book. But she looks pretty cool. Her dress code is nice. She got shorts, black. She has a black top on. I believe it has does it have a? No, I thought it had the Punisher logo on it. It doesn't. She's smart, wears glasses, and she's pretty cute as well. But what I like about this book is it gives you a very, very positive introduction to a young black girl who's basically smart, cool, hip, and really isn't a superhero, but she is because she has a very, very big mind, you know, a very big mind. She's very, very smart in all aspects. There's a lot of magic involved in this book as well, which is pretty cool in its own way. And a lot of twists and a lot of twists and turns. It's a very, very colourful book. What I mean by colourful is the fact that it is very colourful. The colours are used, you know, you see a lot of bright colours. It's very easy to read, very, very, very easy to read to get into this character, and they kind of give you the origin story as well, so you're kind of familiar with what's really happening in this book, you know, why she's called, I guess, Moon Girl, what the moon bit is really about, what the Devil Dinosaur is really about, and yes, he is red because he's the devil in a way. But I like it, you know, it's very, very lighthearted, very funny. It's nice to see that Marvel doing something completely different with this character and this book. Well, you know, I honestly just got this book because it had a black person in it, and you know, because you know we hardly see any black characters in movies, in comic books, and so forth. So again, it's nice to see that Marvel have actually pushed the button and introduced a lot of black characters back into the Marvel universe, from the Black Punisher to the Black Captain America to, the ongoing new book of the Black Panther because of the movie. And that's with an all-black creative team. Also, we're going to have the Luke Cage, be a black character with Iron Fist, who's white, but he's pretty cool. The creative team, and they're all black. So it's nice to see more creativity, more diversity in the comic scene, in the comics and outside of the comics, because it gathers more people from different cultures, religions, and races into the comic scene. And now when you go to stuff like Comic-Con and stuff, you have a more diversity, more love, more support to these people, to the fans, to the characters. And potentially, if things do pop off, and they will, you get more diversity, hopefully, in the movies as well. But that's basically why I got Devil Dinosaur, and I do like it. It's a nice read. It's cool. It's hip. I recommend this book to anybody that's from a young age. It's pretty cool to see a black character with a dinosaur. If you guys want to basically get into the origins of this book, then you pick up the early issues of Devil Dinosaur, which is called Devil Dinosaur, which came out in 1978, and it was actually creators. It was actually it was created by, I believe, Jack Kirby. Also did the art for it. So it was Devil Dinosaur and Moon Boy, who actually you get to see in this book as well. So you kind of get the introduction to basically what is really going on, like just a drift. So I guess in issue 2 you get more of a backstory of the origin story. But if you guys want to basically get the origins of this book, then please pick up Devil Dinosaur featuring Moon Boy, the first Inhuman by Jack Kirby of 1978, which will probably be available to cop on eBay literally right now. So, that being said, guys, that's it for this week's episode of the Two British Nerds. Again, this podcast will always be up from Thursday to the weekend. We try to get on a Thursday, if I can't and things come about, regardless of, I guess, what day it does happen. I will actually be doing this podcast on a weekly basis. So the reason, because I do a lot of things, I'm trying to juggle everything at once, especially with this podcast, because I'm the only person that's doing it at the moment. So that being said, there might be delays in the podcast, but we're guaranteed within the week it should be done. There was no podcast, I believe, last week. Yeah, no, I didn't do it last week. I was totally shattered. I got hit with the flu, so I was run down. You can hear my voice now. It's time to go. So with that being said, the podcast will be up every week. Again, follow me up on Instagram with Two British Nerds with a Z. YouTube, Two British Nerds with a Z. If you got the iDevice, iPhone, iPad, iMac, MacBook Pro, and so forth, iTunes, search me Two British Nerds with a Z, and subscribe to the podcast and your podcast, and I will be pushing up podcasts as soon as they're up. And again, if you're in London right now, it's cold. It's totally cold. I can hit the wind right now. So if you want to come into London in the future, bring a coat, regardless of the weather. Summer, spring, autumn, winter, whatever. Bring a coat. That being said, guys, catch you guys next week. And again, I'll see you guys on the Instagram. Also, my bad, I got the Twitter as well, so I've just rebranded. So redone my Twitter. I've just went through my Twitter today, and I deleted a lot of people that were inactive. I cleaned out my Twitter, so my Twitter is fresh. It's new. I'll be rebranding, changing my profiles and stuff, so just so I get it right. But yeah, my Twitter is at CAVADJ. That's at CAVADJ. Yes, I do DJ, and I'll be doing some live mixes pretty soon. I can't wait. So that being said, guys, peace out. Have a nice time. Have a nice day. Evening, morning, midnight, night, whatever time zone, country you're at. And I'll catch you guys next week. Peace out. Yes. Bye.